You know, privacy is a rare commodity these days. You've seen the headlines. Major website breaches are becoming more common. Millions of Americans were affected by the Equifax breach. And then after that, word that Yahoo announced that 3 billion people were put at risk from a 2013 breach Yahoo had. So why did it take so long to find out? Question is, how can you protect your personal information from getting in the hands of criminals? Entrepreneur and our local expert about ways of the media is Patrick Allmond. We sure appreciate you being here.
Oh, thanks, Linda. Happy anniversary again also.
Well, thank you very much. What's the first clue that you've got trouble?
The first clue I think you've got trouble is I almost focus on the financial part of it.
Okay.
You know, if something's been breached, like a credit card or any kind of bank information, one of the first things I do is I go to my bank account and I see, are there any unusual charges? Because that's going to be the first sign, and oftentimes that's the first thing that people that stealing the information are going for, is to get some money out of you somehow, some way.
So do you recommend that people check their checking accounts and their credit cards daily?
Exactly. Well, not daily.
Really?
I'd say more like weekly.
Okay.
But I think even like in my bank account, there are ways to put on alerts when certain charges happen. Like maybe if there's like a large charge or happen.
Yes.
Like I will very rarely do a $2,000 charge. So if all of a sudden like $1,000 and $2,000 charges are going through, I get an alert as a text message on my phone to log in and see what's going on there.
So then you find out that you have been breached.
Right.
What is the first thing people should do?
I think one of the first things you can do is, first of all, call your bank and get your information changed. Oftentimes we see, for example, that the breaches aren't online. You've seen like at restaurants before where they'll like take a copy of your credit card and stuff and they'll try to steal your information.
Yes.
One of the first things you should do is go to the bank and say, I need to cancel my card and order a new card. And I think on the online world, for things like Equifax, you can go to them and say, put a freeze on your credit report because your information's been compromised, and nothing as far as like late charges or extremely unusual situations should end up on your credit report. I think they like to put like a credit freeze or an information freeze on your credit report.
You know, you're a guy who knows all about this. Have you ever been breached?
I have not. However, I have searched for my information online, which is something we're going to get to eventually, and I found my personal information online even before it was breached. I just searched for my social security number. I searched for different passwords I use and different user IDs, and I find them all the time.
Then what do you do?
Usually what I do is I have that one common password. I think all of us have that one common password we're very familiar with. Every time I find that, I make sure to not use that in any place anymore.
Okay.
I use a password manager, for example, called RoboForm that generates these really long, bizarre passwords, and I don't have to memorize them anymore. And that's one of the things I do is I just try to not use that common password that I'm just so inclined to use.
Does it worry you or scare you, all of the things that are happening these days?
Not really. I've kind of taken the mindset a while back that the hackers, there's more hackers out there than there are government people, than there are Equifax people. So I'm assuming that my information is going to get hacked and get taken away from me. And so I do things like make sure, like whenever I log into my bank account, I get a text message. I just set up all kinds of security layers because I assume I'm going to be hacked.
One of the things we didn't talk about yet was keeping social media accounts private. Do you think that's important?
I think that every single piece of information I put on a social media account is public, no matter what my settings are. And I've always assumed that. And so what I do oftentimes, if there's crucial pieces of information on social media, I have to admit, I don't tell the truth about them. For example, if you were to go to my Facebook account and look at my birthday, that's not my real birthday, Linda. So, because that's one more little tiny piece of information that somebody can grab, that they can use, and once they have that big picture, then they can do some nefarious things to you.
So you just put in fake birthdays?
I put in fake birthdays. Facebook doesn't need to know my birthday. And if my birthday is in May and somebody wants to wish me happy birthday in November, I'm perfectly okay with that.
That's a good attitude.
My mom knows when my birthday is, and that's the really important thing.
Celebrate it all year long.
Exactly.
Patrick, thanks so much for helping us out again. We appreciate you.